So let's talk quickly about, we've been doing the live show on Facebook for a little while till we got the kinks ironed out a little bit. This is our debut on YouTube, and it's different from our regular...
Let's throw a pile of kinks back on.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. It's very different from our, typically quite... Well, like fully edited, fully produced YouTube stuff. A little raw, but that gives us some great opportunities.
Yeah, absolutely. And here's the thing. I mean, we on our YouTube show, we're known for being very sincere and showing our personalities, and we do. But, the live show really lets us have more of just who we are, what we like to do, what we like to talk about. So, yeah, we do enjoy this meeting.
The other great thing about it, it's going to let us, first of all, talk to other photographers, cinematographers, our friends in the industry.
Dude. Multicam, everything going on here. This is about as good as you can do with zero budget. We're rocking it.
I'm pretty happy.
See, like there's some hard cuts right here, guys.
What?
With some soft, dramatic cuts.
Yeah, we found a way for Ron to actually, work on this.
Some smooth cuts. We haven't worked on star wipes, but yeah. We have diamond wipes.
Yeah, diamond wipes. Hopefully everybody's
less.
okay with diamond wipes. I know we don't have star wipes in OBS. Man. So we have a very special guest that we're going to talk to today, and I won't spoil it, but we're very excited to have him on here. But also on our show, we're going to be talking about a little throwback today, hey?
Yeah, we're going to talk about some of our favorite TCSTV episodes, some behind-the-scenes stories, which we never get to do. We've never really done BTS of the Camera Store TV. On top of that, it gives us the opportunity to look at maybe some gear or, tools that we wouldn't dedicate an entire episode to.
I mean, people here, especially on YouTube, know us for doing gear reviews, our in-depth gear reviews. But there's a lot of stuff that we want to talk about. There's a lot of products that come in the store that are really interesting. And, this gives us an opportunity to get them out to a bigger audience.
Yeah, so I guess without further ado, I'm going to jump out of here. We'll get the show officially started.
Yes, absolutely.
And, we're going to bring David in.
Absolutely.
Intro him effectively,
right.
quickly.
Thanks, Jordan.
Yeah.
You'll be back.
Welcome, David.
So YouTube, yes, we have David duChemin in here with us. And David, thank you very much for coming. I appreciate you being here.
This is cozy.
It is cozy. I know. That's why we have the bench, right?
I love it.
Honestly, on the Facebook show, we made people sit on wooden crates, but we're not going to do that today.
It's a little,
So you're saying cozy, but you don't mean it.
No,
right?
it's terrifying. Actually, I'm very uncomfortable.
So David, you've been a friend of the store actually for quite a long time. You've
I
been
have.
workshops for us before, and of course we've been carrying your books. We love it.
Thank you.
And I think that's where a lot of people know you from, especially here in Calgary, right? I mean, the books. You're here to sign your new book for us.
I am.
The camera. But tell us a little bit about what you've been up to lately.
Making pictures. I'm making a lot of pictures.
Yeah.
I had this transition about 6 years ago where I had this accident. And I busted my feet up, and I kind of went, okay, now what do I do, right? I mean, there's always these opportunities where you kind of gotta make a hard right or a hard left, and so I started doing this underwater stuff, because I can't do the walking I used to. I can't climb mountains and stuff like that. But the minute I go into the water, I'm good as new, right? Like I can do anything that anyone else can do. So I got my master scuba ticket, and
cool.
as soon as I'm done here, I'm going home. I'm cleaning my underwear, and I'm getting on a plane. I'm going to Tonga. I'm going to spend a week free diving with humpback whales, photographing humpbacks and their calves.
So is that like a safety thing? You have to have clean underwear before you go underwater with the whales?
Yeah,
Does it upset
most
them or something?
Well,
like that,
it does, but mostly, well, not really. I mean, let's face it, we're all peeing in our wetsuits anyway. No, this has more to do with whether anyone wants to sit beside me on the plane.
Oh, fair enough.
Yeah.
That's gracious, considerate, and also adventurous.
Yeah, it's true. Although, as I say it, I realize this could be a tactic for getting like a whole row to myself. So.
Yeah, exactly. Hey, you're doing great right now. I have no problems with you.
That's good.
So, David, this camera, or this soul of the camera, can you explain kind of what you mean by that? Because I know a lot of your books before, what I always appreciated about them when we got them in the store was that you were talking about telling stories. You were talking about, making connections with people, having a sort of vision of what you want to express, But gear, I mean, we talk about gear in the show. Gear is a big part of this experience.
Do you talk about gear?
Like once in a while.
Okay.
All
right.
Like a little bit or almost exclusively.
Okay.
And because we have no souls, but but you do. And so explain to us, what is this meaning? I mean, how does gear play a part in your life? How does it play a part in photography for you?
Well, I mean, it's a big part, right? I mean, anyone that says the gear doesn't matter on one level is full of crap.
Right.
On the other hand, there's a lot of people that spend all of their, like literally every waking moment of their lives researching specs.
Man.
Well, I was going to get this lens, but then I found out it didn't have perfect edge-to-edge sharpness. I'm like, what are people looking in the edges of your photograph for anyway? Like, you want that stuff to be like blurry. And it's funny because those same people that are focused on edge-to-edge sharpness sharpness, then the next breath is like, look at the bokeh on this image. It's so blurry.
I know.
And I'm like, well, which one is it? Is it edge-to-edge sharpness or is it bokeh? And the reality is either can be a substitute for actually making good photographs. And by good photographs, I don't mean it's perfectly sharp and it's well exposed, because let's face it, that's the price of entry. If you can't make a well exposed photograph, if you can't make a sharp photograph, then you're probably using a camera that was made like 150 years ago, because they can all do that. Every camera on some level is capable. Yeah, some cameras have better dynamic range than others, and they all have strengths and they all have weaknesses. But at the end of the day, what is responsible for making a photograph that connects with an audience is you. It's your decisions. It's your POV. It's your, how you treat lines and how you bring energy and your choice of moments.
Yeah, absolutely.
And it really has. We have the best cameras that have ever been made.
Oh,
and
we're spoiled, aren't we?
And we're
so
still
spoiled.
making photographs of our friggin' breakfast cereal. Like, no wonder that's not connecting with
Now,
people.
for anybody out there on YouTube who's like a professional serial photographer, David doesn't mean you.
Is there
okay?
such a if you're a professional breakfast photographer,
I think you could probably fetishize it. I think
you
that's
probably could.
Oh yeah,
yeah. And I'm
I
cool
could
with
fetishize
that.
breakfast cereal. Trust me.
The reality is, I spent all my time just at home doing gear reviews. I'm just trying to rile up the YouTube audience, because I know that out there somewhere there are people that are going, God, what is this guy on about with the soul of the camera? But the fact is, if you want to make more than sharp photographs, if you're like at the point where you can make a sharp, well-exposed photograph, folks, it's time to move on. It's time to get out there and make something that thrills you, that gets you into a place where you're, whatever it is, whether you're walking the streets in a new place and discovering new things. But there's this great skit on Saturday Night Live like years ago with William Shatner, who played Captain Kirk, and he's playing in front of this big audience of like Star Trek convention people, and they're all asking him these questions, and he just snaps and he's like, get a life. And I feel like and this has nothing to do with the book, except that if we have this, if we get a life, then we'll have something to photograph.
Well, sure, absolutely. I mean, one of the things that's incredible about your lifestyle that I think everybody here is probably envious of. We don't tell you
I'm
that.
envious of my lifestyle.
That's the thing. I mean, you made this kind of plan. I remember seeing you years ago when you started. Was it 8-9 years ago? I mean, it was
something like that.
Yeah. And I remember you're like, you know what? I'm going out. I'm just gonna go to Africa. I'm gonna start just helping people out. And you brought a camera with you, and it just blossomed from there. Hey, just like travel, being on the road, seeing the world. And I mean, as you say, it's about kind of taking that step, getting out of the door, and being able to shoot.
Yeah, I mean, I don't want to.
Unless you take the internet with you and you're looking at MTF charts while you walk around beautiful locations, you probably
I don't
wanna
even
leave that
know
at
what
home.
an MTF chart is. I have
Don't worry
no
about it.
idea. I'm sure it's very important. That's why
I
my
think it has the word
photographs
mother
suck.
and a bad word in there too. I think I'm pretty sure. But why I ask you that question about gear is there is a balance, right? I mean, there is a balance, and we do need the right tools for the job.
Absolutely.
And this is something that we experience every day in our storefront.
Sure.
We have people who want to communicate. We have people who want to tell stories, or maybe just do things for themselves.
Yep.
But they need the right gear. At the same time, some people get obsessed with just the science behind it.
I mean, guys, I'm sure are people talking crap about?
Yeah,
me?
they're probably
I know that some of you are like, whoa, he's talking crap about my camera. Look, get the best camera you can friggin' afford. I mean, spend your money on the L glass or on the Leica gear. Get the best stuff you can. Just don't kid yourself. They are not what is going to make an amazing photograph. They will make a technically competent photograph.
Yeah.
And craft 100% matters.
Well, look,
right?
I
Matters.
don't make amazing photographs. YouTube will agree right now with me on that one. But one of the unique things about what we do on the show is I have to use new gear every week.
Right.
So the gear can't even become that important to me when it's making photographs because it's something new. It's alien to me. It's a new product. Maybe it's for compact photography. Maybe it's for landscape, and I have to make it work for a whole bunch of stuff. And so, you really have to just kind of get out there. That's the key thing.
You just got to treat it like a tool, right? And a tool has an appropriate use, and then the important thing is you use it, right? I'm pretty sure construction workers aren't sitting around on their coffee break going, I had a different hammer before this, but this hammer is just.
Are you sure? Because our
maybe
construction workers kind of just hang out and sit around and talk about their tools all day.
Maybe they do, but. At the end of the day, for me, I would rather if we fall in love more with photographs and the actual craft of making photographs, our photographs will become better. But we are so addicted to the tools, and we hope that with the next, right, like Canon, Thing Mark II comes out, and that's what promises finally my photographs will be better.
I know.
And
It's
then
a slippery
Thing Mark
slope.
III, and then Mark IV. At a certain point, you just have to go, you know what? These tools are amazing, and if my photographs suck, it's not the camera.
Do you think that's why we have such a big resurgence nowadays into analog photography? Are people like rebelling against that? Are they rebounding against this sort of gear acquisition?
No, I don't think it's about gear acquisition, because I think they're all still going out and buying, instead of buying Canon 5D Mark III, they're going out and buying,
Right.
the old retro Leicas and stuff.
It's like, I need a $400 leather strap for
do
my
think
old camera.
Well, it's true. It's true. And you should. That will make your straps are everything.
You're right, they did.
But
you heard it. Key to better photography. David's next
It's all
book
about
is going to
straps.
be just buy a strap.
That's right. It's all. It's just a fucking camera strap. I do think, however, that the movement back to analog is because we're missing something in digital, or there's a potential for us to miss something, and that's the slowness, the intentionality of it. Again, it has nothing to do with digital. We can still be slow and intentional.
You're
with
absolutely
digital.
right.
But a lot of digital photographers have never even printed their work, and they're not experiencing a tactility. They're not experiencing the joy.
They're having a good time.
I don't know what's going on in YouTube over there, but it's something's going
quite
on.
a few people just rambling on.
We'll get to
Fantastic.
it.
Ramble away.
And honestly,
Yeah.
YouTube, we're going to give time because we want you to be able to talk to some
Yeah,
people
sure.
here. But so then I guess my last question would be then, Dave, so then where does the soul come in?
Comes from us, right? I mean, if our photographs are going to have spark or soul or life or something that connects with other people, it comes from our choices. It comes from our curiosity and all of the decisions that we make, beginning with being patient and curious and having something to say, right? This cliche, our photographs are worth 1,000 words. Well, they could be 1,000 totally empty, banal words, right? Or they can be 1,000 words that say something.
Or even 2 words that are really,
Or
really
even
poignant.
2 really great,
Yeah,
sharp, very well exposed words. But if we don't have something to say, then where's that 1,000 words coming from? I mean, we really truly we know what the world looks like. We know what breakfast cereal looks like. I've seen your feet sticking out of the end of a tent on Instagram 1,000,000 times. The question now is not how does the world look? It's how does it feel, and what do we have to say about the world? That's the stuff that comes from us, and not everyone wants that. Some people are happy making a sharp photograph, and that's knock yourself out. But if you want more, if you want to go deeper,
You have to find that soul.
It comes from you, right? And whether you call it soul or spark or life, or whatever. I
New
think
Instagram channel, eating breakfast cereal intense with my feet. Doing
that
it.
would do well.
I found
That
my
would-
niche.
That
I found
would
my
do
niche.
well. Yeah, with dogs, with dogs,
With dogs.
and in bikinis.
Oh, well, yeah, but I mean, that goes without saying.
My Instagram feed would kill if I was just always in a bikini, standing on the edge of a lake.
Isn't that funny? I mean, totally
Incredible, right?
totally
It would
side
kill.
point, as hard as we try for success,
You
and
want it.
making
I know
things
you
work,
want it.
It would just be David in a bikini all
It
day long,
totally
like one of
would,
those onesies,
right? Wouldn't it?
right over
Yeah.
your
Well,
shoulder.
I'd try different things.
Dude, I'd follow that.
Right?
I
Absolutely.
mean, who wouldn't?
Absolutely.
Yeah, million in a day. We travel all the time, and I know our research when Jordan and I are going traveling is I just look at a Wikipedia page on the plane. What do you do for research when you're getting your big trips ready? Because you're traveling to amazing places.
I don't do research anymore, and that's it because of the way that I do photography.
Just want to kind of get in there.
There are a lot. I mean, a lot of my colleagues, they're like, you got to research, and that's because they're shooting for Geographic, and that's because they're pursuing stories. I want to go with like as blank a slate as I can, so I don't look on Instagram, I don't Google image search. I go and I get. I mean, all I really do is I find a cool hotel or Airbnb or something that's in the heart of the old interesting area of wherever I'm going, and then I experience the place and I try as best as I can to make photographs of that experience.
Very
So
cool.
I don't want to if the Lonely Planet, not that I read the Lonely Planet anymore, but if it said here are the 10 must-see places, those for me are the 10 places I absolutely must not go.
Damn it, because that's where I go every time. That's exactly what we did in Kyoto.
But I'm done with. I mean, you got to see them, right? You do.
No,
have
but
to
you're
see
right.
them. But
Yeah.
you're not going to make your iconic photograph at iconic places. If it happens at all, it's going to be unexpected because of a powerful moment in an unforeseen little spot where the light just happens. The Lonely Planet's not going to be like, well, at 3:00 in the afternoon in this area in Kyoto, the light is going to be coming in at this.
Well,
angle.
and they're not going to say like, oh, walk down this small Spanish town, find Jose Guerrera, talk to him at 3:00 in the
Exactly.
afternoon, and catch him in that beautiful light. It
Exactly.
just doesn't happen,
And
right?
so I think, I mean, the photographs that I most resonate with in my own work are the ones that come out of these unexpected experiences, these stories. They're connected to something I never imagined. So that's not to downplay role
Of course.
research your heart out if that's what you're into.
But even when you get to that place, it's like let the place take over. Let it kinda
discover
lead
it
where
on
you're
your
gonna
own.
go.
Figure
Very
out
cool.
what Paris is to you. Paris is way more than the Eiffel Tower. I mean, I could.
Yeah.
I honestly could live the rest of my life and never see another photograph of the Eiffel Tower. It's a beautiful thing. It's
I
iconic,
know what you mean.
But if I go to Paris, I want to photograph something that is part of my experience. And the Eiffel Tower, it's beautiful. Don't get me wrong. It's a beautiful, but it's just the Eiffel Tower.
It's not the
right?
heart of Paris.
And for me, it's not.
Yeah.
And you've got to find out what the heart of Paris is for you. For some, it will be one neighborhood. For others, it'll be another. And for others, it will just be, like a croissant and coffee every morning. And that's your Instagram feed for a week. Is
I was going to say French breakfast cereal.
French breakfast
cereal. It all
cereals
comes back to
with
that.
your feet in a bikini.
I think they're going to be like, that guy hates breakfast cereal. What is
onto
his
something.
problem with friggin' breakfast cereal?
Me too. But every once in a while, corn pops. Let me tell you, right? No.
All right.
Okay. What comments do we have for David there on YouTube?
Why does he hate breakfast cereal?
we had just posed the question to see if YouTube wants to ask David any questions.
Keep
carry
going.
on,
Okay.
yes.
They're gonna ask. So, when are you gonna start making a YouTube channel and blowing us out of the water?
I have a YouTube channel.
What?
Dude, come on. I actually I did like 50 episodes and then I gave up. Then I was just like, I'm done. I have no more ideas. And I took some time off, but my channel's called Vision is Better. And it's I'm at like episode 66 right now. And
nice.
really, I sit at my desk with a really big LED light and I just talk trash about the sacred cows of photography. Actually, that's only part of it. My hope is to really inspire people to dig deeper with their photography. So it's called Vision is Better. I'm on YouTube.
There you go.
I'm a YouTuber.
Awesome. We've got a couple coming
Okay.
in. Our very own Caitlin is asking, do you have a favorite place to photograph?
Ooh.
Hey, Caitlin. I do, actually. I have a couple of almost anywhere underwater these days. But if I could only go back to a few places and never go anywhere new, I would be okay with going to northern Kenya once a year and going to Italy, specifically Venice. I adore, for whatever, some people love or hate Venice. I kind of love and hate it, but mostly I love it. And the light there and just, it's fascinating to me. So Venice would be one of them, northern Kenya, and anywhere underwater would just absolutely be it. I know you were expecting me to say, like Iceland, but everyone's doing. That's what photographers are meant to say right now. Is I love Iceland.
I love Iceland.
The Namibian desert, obviously.
Oh, I want to shoot those dead trees against the orange dunes because no one's done that
Utah.
yet.
We've got, let's see.
Why does he hate Namibia? What's wrong with
Breakfast cereal, Namibia,
Alexander?
a little bit of Venice.
He's a jerk.
Alexander is asking, what are you shooting with?
That's my
What
favorite.
aren't you shooting with?
What am I not? That's my favorite question. What gear do you use? Right now, I am using Fuji X-T2 bodies. I like them because they're light. The image quality is great. Like the flip down screen. They work for me. I love the analog control. Sony doesn't work for me as well. I like the light mirrorless, but Sony just doesn't feel right in my hands. So
do you miss your SLR?
Do I miss? No, I hate my SLR. I friggin' hate when I go underwater. I still shoot with two.
We didn't pay him to say that, by the way.
I'm not kidding.
You'll get your check later.
It drives me crazy that I look through the viewfinder and then I have to look at a screen to see my histogram.
Yeah,
Why
I know.
Can I not? This is.
That's
the fire
totally
alarm.
normal.
That's
Yes,
awesome.
exactly.
This is 2017. Why can I not see my histogram in my viewfinder? Any camera that I can stay in the moment with, that I can look through the viewfinder and see my histogram and never do this.
I'm pretty sure that even in a modern SLR, you could have a live view histogram.
I don't know.
I'm
You know what?
they can
I'm
make
sure
work
of it.
somehow.
But anyway, that's what I'm shooting with. I shoot Nikon when I'm underwater. I shoot Fuji when I'm on land. And I'm doing my YouTube show with a couple of Canon 70D bodies. I'm totally brand agnostic. I've shot Leica, Hasselblad. And you know what? They're all just black boxes with a lens on the front. They all just do the same thing. But some feel better in the hand than others. And for me right now,
there's the right tool for the right job.
Absolutely.
Like any trade, there's the right tool for the right
but
job.
nobody's going to look through my stuff and go, oh, this is clear. This is the work from his Fuji period, but before he moved into, and this is his Leica stuff. You can tell that because
It's a camera.
Use what works for you. Just honest to God. If it feels right in your hand and it meets your needs, people out there are probably going, yeah, but what if you're shooting? And I know. There's
so David
always
just single-handedly shot his entire sponsorship deal for any sort of, camera company.
I
or
got
boosted it for the ones that he really likes.
Yeah,
So-
fair enough.
Yeah.
I would be totally on board, and I am a Fuji X photographer,
Yes,
but
you are.
only to the extent that I will give them my honest feedback, and as long as that camera works for me, I will use it.
Perfect.
If something came out that just worked better, I have no problem going, okay, this worked for this time, but this, I would shoot Fuji underwater, except they just don't make good housings for underwater. They're not fast enough. They don't work they just, or at least they weren't at the time I was getting a housing. So use whatever works for you, and as long as it's sexy. I mean, if I could use, because it has to look good, right?
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
It's like,
Again, back to the straps,
does
right?
it match the camera bag?
Doesn't matter what
really-
camera you have as long as the
it
strap
really doesn't.
is
No,
sexy
as
and
long as
coordinated.
it's a sexy strap. Yeah.
Okay.
David's coming out with his new bag line in a
Yeah.
couple months. Look out for that on the internet.
It's all about
Kickstarter,
the
it's
strap
coming.
on.
Sexy bikini strap. That's
Ooh,
what
I
it
like
is.
that.
There you go.
SexyBikiniStrap.com.
Yeah.
I think we have some award-winning ideas already just from the small show.
Followed up by the one of the better questions: worst camera you've ever used?
Honestly,
Just say Canon. Just say Canon.
honestly,
That's
Just
what
say,
we do.
just
That's what
say
we do.
phone. Just say iPhone.
No, I love
No,
my
you
own.
love your
Okay,
phone, yeah.
the camera that I had the toughest relationship with was the older M series Leicas, and I had a friend who said trying to focus one of these things was like a monkey trying a football, and he's not wrong. I had a heck of a time. Now I don't know what kind of relationships monkeys and footballs have, and why that's such a challenge to but. I really didn't. I didn't love the experience. I loved the idea of it, and they are really sexy cameras. But I couldn't. I just couldn't get on board with it.
I don't disagree with you.
Until the Leica M, the 240 type, which I actually really liked. Because the focusing was different. It was easier to focus. And then I also figured if I just shot like 21 millimeters at f8 and zone focus, I never had to focus ever again.
It's funny. I never liked the classic Leica film experience.
Yeah.
And it was partly the rangefinder, pre-visualizing. It just wasn't my thing. I
Yep.
liked SLRs and I liked mirrorless. And then it's funny, coming out with the 240 and then things like the monochrome and now the new M10.
Totally.
And I still would never buy a Leica. It's not suiting for me, but I have fun when I use them now. Which is
Yeah, and I
interesting.
love the idea. I mean,
Yeah.
in my dreams, I am a Leica shooter. I love the ethos of it. I love the aesthetics. It gets in the way. My ideal camera is the one that doesn't get in the way, and a Leica gets in the way too much for me.
And maybe that's what people like about it, that kind of experience. But
It
yeah,
could be.
I totally know what you mean.
and once you're used to a tool, any tool you can get so used to that it gets out of the way. I just don't have, how long is our life that we've got to, at this point, my muscle memory is adapted to something like a Pentax Spotmatic or, a Nikon F3 or now the Fujis. I can pick up the Fuji X-T2 and the dials are in the right place. right?
Absolutely.
It's like picking up my old Pentax Spotmatic, which was already like 20 years old when I got it 30 years ago.
I totally agree with that statement of just like what is as little as possible between you and the photograph.
Yep.
Yeah.
And for some it'll be Sony, for some it'll be Fuji, for some a Canon or
And then
a
you have more
Nikon.
fun too, right? I mean, just enjoy the experience more.
Yeah, and two, I think there's a great quote from Edward Weston, and I'm going to do it a terrible injustice, but he basically says, photographers, we go from camera to camera and process to process, and we're always playing and trying and experiment. We never play with anything long enough to actually master it to the point that we're so good at it that it's an extension of our bodies. I think there's a strong argument to be made for whatever system you're in, stick with it. If you can, long enough that you're not even thinking about it. When you're at f60 and
Absolutely.
F60 the second f5.
And maybe
F8.
that's why the digital world is so difficult that way, because it almost, it shouldn't, but it does keep people from feeling that way.
It forces us
Yeah.
to.
Always looking forward
I
to
want
new
to be
stuff.
able to buy a camera that's that's made like an old Leica that has like a replaceable sensor or something. So yeah, every 3 years, sensor technology changes. They drop in a new sensor, but I can keep my old body.
same
I can
body that
keep
you're used to.
working it.
Uh-huh.
I mean, that to me would be one. It would be more environmentally responsible. I mean, the planet's only going to put up with so much. But if I could use the same camera for 10 years and a button never change location for it always to be there,
There's
I
a lot
don't
to
use
be said
much
for that.
anyway. I mean, I change my focus point and I shoot completely manually with my exposure.
We got a question there, Ronnie?
That comment sponsored by Leica.
Sponsored by Leica. Yeah. Well, no one's
okay.
going to sponsor
Yeah,
that.
the duChemin edition. Yeah, the
No one's
Leica.
going to sponsor
Like
that
an
question
M12
because
duChemin edition.
the reality is no one wants to build a
we're
camera
going to
like
have to
that.
rapid fire, maybe
Rapid
just
fire.
a touch.
Okay, quick ones.
So
We're
we've
gonna
Yes,
do
got-
no,
quick answers,
12,
quick
Leica,
questions.
We've
Canon.
got- no. We've got Matt asking, what's your favorite lighting setup?
My favorite lighting setup. I'd have
Correct.
to ask what he meant by that because I'm almost entirely a natural light shooter.
There we go.
His favorite
So-
lighting setup
answer
is
is
Venice.
Backlight is my favorite lighting setup.
Okay, cool. Next, we've got Pierre Gunner asking, how did you get so wise at such a young age?
Young age. What a nice question.
There
Thank
you
you.
go.
Thank you.
You are
Someone actually
welcome.
recently called me like the wise old grandfather of photography. I'm like, grandfather, I'm 45. I'm like barely scratching middle age. I don't know, just a lot of failure. I think the failure is our best teacher.
Yep.
And I failed a lot. I mean, I failed a ton. I could write a book about stupid
should
crap
write a-
that I have
you
done.
should write a book
right?
about my failures.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, and
You're
you know,
right. We learn from them.
you fall down enough times that finally you go, hang on, if I don't fall down,
My excuse for not learning
I won't get
anything
hurt.
is I just haven't failed yet.
fail better, fail harder, fail faster.
Okay, so
then do your best
Wes
to learn.
is asking, Dave, do you watch any other YouTubes or YouTubers, and if so, whom?
Okay, here's the thing. And this is very counterproductive of me, but I think if we all spent way less time on social media and actually put our cameras into our hands, don't take my advice until you finish watching this episode.
Yeah,
or
you
watching
realize
my
we're on
show.
we're on social media right now, just so you know.
But stop consuming so much social media. We only have so many hours in the day. Get out there with your camera and photograph.
Man.
Make photographs. That's how you will learn. Having said that, yeah, I consume as if I need something, you know, I'll go to like Peter McKinnon's YouTube channel and learn something about podcasting or video, but mostly the people that I follow are like people like Gary Vaynerchuk, people that have got hustle and are teaching about social media and about running a business, entrepreneurial stuff. I don't really go to social media for tutorials and stuff like that.
Right.
But I've been doing this for 30 years, so a lot of these lessons I've already learned.
Fair
So
enough.
I'm not discounting
Absolutely.
social media. I'm just saying, well, I'll spend a little less time on social media and a little more time out photographing.
I don't worry about people today. I worry about our kids. When they grow up and they start consuming, everything's going to be YouTube and social media.
Speaking
Yeah.
about worry, most dangerous, or Robert is wondering, most dangerous place you've visited.
Well, probably Italy.
shot.
Italy's the only place I've had to be medically evacuated out of.
Yeah, that was quite the event.
That was really stupid. Not my best idea ever. I fell off a 30-foot wall angling for, a slightly better POV. And I was like, if I could
Safety
just get
third,
a
am I
little
right?
Safety third, always. Safety
Get the shot.
third.
And just on that note, when Jordan comes back in here shortly, look at his shirt, because we even have a shirt that's
Safety third.
Get
I
the
love
shot,
that.
have fun, and third, be safe.
I love that.
Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, having said that, I mean, safety's all. You can go to Democratic Republic of Congo for 2 or 3 weeks and be totally safe, and the minute you leave, something happens, and
Sure.
or you can go to Turkey and everything's fine until you're in the middle of a riot or something. So, but for me, the most dangerous place is the place that I got hurt, and that was Tuscany. So don't go to Tuscany. Very careful of Tuscany. Stay away from that wall.
Dang. Okay, so Kevin Bain.
Hey, Kevin.
Oh, man, this is great. Best camera for nighttime underwater burlesque photography.
Oh my God, I
Not-
love this
Not
guy.
a joke. There's a show here
that's
weekly,
awesome.
and I need to show some of the girls.
I love that.
Where is
I
this
think
show?
Underwater burlesque.
So nighttime underwater burlesque. I think that depends on whether you need to also do HDR in camera, and whether you are you going to want to do like a pano with a tilt shift at the same time? Like you probably haven't been specific enough with your question, but I'm going to go with the iPhone in a Ziploc bag
There
on
you
that
go.
one.
All right. iPhone in a Ziploc bag. Pros
With a
talking here.
really great Instagram filter.
Something with rhinestones.
Billy's wondering favorite sensor / film size.
Ooh.
Yeah.
Was that a question? Is that
I
even
guess.
a sentence?
Yeah, that's kind
what
of a
is your
sentence.
favorite sensor
Sorry,
size? Yeah.
the sweet spot for me on sensor size is 24 megapixels. I don't need a ton more. My D800 has more, and as a result, it's really slow. But I do crop a lot to 1:1. I do crop a lot to 16:9, and the old the XT1 at 16 point whatever megapixels just wasn't quite enough by the time I'd cropped a little off the sides. But for me, 24 megapixels is a sweet spot. I don't need much more than that.
So
and here's
like,
question too. So with APS-C cameras now, and of course you're using the XT2s,
Yeah, okay.
do you find that that's a big
I don't
problem?
I don't miss
You
full
don't
frame
miss
at
full
all.
frame. I was
No.
yeah,
Full
that's what I
frames
was
was a big deal because you couldn't get the wide or ultra wide lenses for them and for the camera unless you got like a full frame.
Right.
Now we have that. And the only thing you're really losing, for me, the only thing I'm really losing would be a certain look, a certain depth of field at a certain focal length.
Right.
And I'm not relying on my f1.2, the look, the bokeh. Most of my stuff is shot, between f4 and f11, and I'm composing for the whole scene, not using depth of field quite as much, which I would have. That some people really need that. I don't. So I'm very happy with the crop sensor
Very
now.
cool.
Getting back to Billy's question, it was probably more so not megapixel, but sensor size. But it seems that you're pretty comfortable.
Yeah,
like
a crop
shooting
sensor at
more
24
so,
megapixel.
Yeah.
As long as I can shoot it at like 1600 ISO and not get really grain as big as Grandpa's nuts. I mean, I want something that feels nice. It doesn't feel chunky. But at the same time, I do so much black and white stuff that honestly, if it's a little bit grainy,
Doesn't even matter,
I
right?
introduce
Yeah.
grain anyway. God help us when Nick Silver Effects finally dies, because I don't know what I'm going to do. But I like introducing a little bit of grain into my stuff.
When in doubt, go black, right?
Well, black is the queen of all colors.
It's true.
Gerardo's wondering walk around kit with the XT2.
Walk around kit XT2, no battery grip, a couple extra batteries in my pocket. Well,
David, I love
several.
you.
And thank you. And either like the 10 to 24 lens, or just that this what is it, 18 to 55? Just their crappy.
Oh, the 2.8 to 4 is a great lens.
Least sexy lens I have ever looked at
So
in my
good.
life, but it's a
So
great
good.
lens. So probably between the 10 to 24 or the 18 to 55. Great lenses, and you know what? They make fantastic. The image quality is great. I mean, as much as I fuss about things like that, perfect little walk around kit. I can do 2 XT2s, 2 lenses, throw one in a satchel, and I can walk all day. Killer. But then you need a dozen batteries because they do go through pretty quick.
Absolutely.
All right.
All right. Well, David, I think your book signing.
It's almost
I know,
it's
and I'm
almost
having
the
so
book
much
signing.
fun.
We were
I
just
know,
getting started.
But Jordan gets really, upset if
Oh, is he
he's not
twitching?
on
He wants his
camera.
mic back.
Wicked
He's like,
antsy
dude,
right now.
Jordan's
so.
like, what
Jordan,
about me? What about me? My shirt.
I'm
So-
touching the mic.
Oh yeah.
He's gonna want to change this.
we just
isn't
got
he?
a bump in
Trust me,
views.
there's nothing you can do that I haven't done to him already.
Oh God! You didn't tell me that. Someone sterilized this before I
But
came
David,
on.
thank you.
No.
I
You're
welcome.
really
Thank
appreciate
you.
coming on the show.
Thanks,
and,
YouTube.
We're excited. And again, and just a side point, I know it's YouTube. There's a lot of people from all over the world. But if you are in Calgary, YYC, come down to the camera store today, and
down.
you can talk to David in person. You can give him hell over the whole breakfast cereal thing in
Absolutely.
person, yell at him,
Yeah.
scream at him, whatever you want.
Bring a croissant. We'll photograph it together.
Bring a croissant. There you go.
Or,
We have a tent. We have a tent over there.
And I will sign my books. I'll sign Joe McNally's books. I'll sign. You bring a book. I will sign it. I'll sign your iPad. Bring an ebook. I'll sign
There you go.
anything.
There you go. So
Absolutely.
Calgary, don't miss this opportunity. Come down, see David right now.
Right on.
Thank you so much.
Thanks, YouTube.
Thank you
Thanks
much,
for being on.
Dave. All right.
The
There you
soul
go.
of the camera.
Soul of the camera.
There it is. Absolutely.
secret
Get
to
on
good
it.
And
photography.
7.2. I mean, just quick thing. 7.2. Also, you just came out with that book. Beautiful. I mean, not
Yeah, a
just,
couple years ago.
We're
Yeah.
showing it here,
Thank you.
and I love that book because
Thank you.
it's such a different kind of medium
Dave.
from just
Thanks,
the instructional stuff. It's gorgeous.
Dave,
gorgeous
one
landscapes.
my book.
quick
Buy the book.
Buy my
rapid
book.
fire introspective question just before you part.
Oh,
Okay.
I didn't want
Uh,
to leave anyway.
sorry.
This is the encore. Yeah.
This is the encore.
Can you
okay?
crop in nice and
I
tight?
bet
so
you
Chris
it's
isn't
about-
in the-
I bet
this
you-
is the David
Guys,
show.
guys,
Welcome here.
The question is, how
hold
would
on.
you do high altitude burlesque shooting on a mountaintop?
That may be
Dave.
my favorite question ever. Okay,
So-
sorry. Go ahead.
How do you manage creative emptiness or when you feel uninspired?
Damn, that's a good question.
That's a really good question. And when I feel uninspired, I put the camera away and I go and do something else. The camera is not my life. I'm interested in life, and that's why I have such a thing about photography, because I think it helps me encounter life, experience things in a deeper way. I see things with a camera in my hand that I wouldn't see otherwise. But there are times when you're just like, I'm so friggin' done with this camera that it is time to put it down and go have a life, go do something else, or punch through it and jump the rut, go do something else, put on a different lens, try a different piece of gear, get your iPhone and just go and do something playful and fun, learn something new, like challenge yourself. If you're bored, it's because you're not pushing yourself hard enough. You're not challenged. Go do your low light underwater burlesque thing. Go figure out some challenge that you can chew on, because creativity is like a muscle. You need something to push against. So if you're pushing against something, some challenge that you're not bored with. It's not the same old, same old. And it's like, that's helpful. Go out and try something new. Or like I said, put the camera away, get a glass of whiskey or a nice glass of red wine, and pick up a book by one of the greats. I mean, we're surrounded by
we got so many good books
of photographs, not books about photography, but books of photograph. Pick something up and just look at it and celebrate and go, oh my God, look at that. And just get the spark back by kind of, not being, don't put so much pressure on yourself. There's nothing that says you got to make a brilliant photograph today. Put the camera away, get your red wine, open a book, look at some photographs, kind of feel the wonder again.
Yeah,
there you go.
The
Cool.
book you should probably start out with is The Soul of the Camera.
There you go.
There you go.
Absolutely.
Buy my book.
With your wine.
Thank you, David.
You're very welcome. Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, back to it, guys.
My butt hurts.
Huh?
Oh, it's a classic duo.
Yeah.
Yes. Welcome back, Jordan.
Thank you so much, David. Glad we were able to get him on here.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's fantastic.
And I should mention, too, if you're looking for his books, I believe we have all the links in the descriptions to pick those up. So definitely check them out. And
Absolutely.
And yeah, thanks again. So we got some other stuff to talk about.
Oh, yes, we do. Absolutely. Would you like to start with the Sony lens, or would you like to start with our favorite videos?
You know what? Let's start with the Sony lens.
Let's do the Sony lens really quick. So, we love lens reviews, but it's hard to do in the context of YouTube sometimes because you kind of have to wait for other lenses you can compare them against, and sometimes gear just comes out and we want to talk about it right away. So these are terrible photographs, but we did just take the 12 to 24. Sony has a brand new 12-24 f4, and that's full frame, so full frame 12 mil.
Yeah.
Really exciting lens. I think the biggest thing to appreciate right off the bat is it is easily a half to a third of the size of Nikon 1424s.
Exactly. The
Canon
it's just
1124s.
incredibly small. Like
Just super fast, because Kaladi is really wondering, has to have this pressing question answered.
Money questions.
Is iPhone good enough to compete with SLRs in mirrorless?
I think that really comes down to, again, what you're going to use it for. It's not so much a competition. I mean, we've certainly noticed that iPhones and Samsung, all the whole cell phone photography thing has changed the market in a big way, because you had a lot of people who just want to make memories. They just needed small point and shoots, and they just want to capture photos. They didn't really want to, be photographers. They don't want to learn photography. They just wanted memories. And the phone has taken that whole industry and made it disappear. But the enthusiasts, the people who want to do aperture, they want to have zoom ranges, they want to change perspective, they want to have manual control. Phones still don't do that, and so I don't think they compete with SLRs and mirrorless.
Some of them you gotta watch out.
Shut your mouth, Ron.
Sorry,
shut your mouth.
I know, right?
Ron,
but
you shut your mouth.
No, they stimulate an evolution of these cameras, which is much overdue.
I think
there you go. That's Ron's 2 cents.
I think really a lot of people, when they're looking at any sort of larger sensor camera, I call it the bokeh crutch. Actually, I stole that from Tyler Stillman on his podcast. But I do love a smartphone generally because there's deep depth of field. It's a 28mm lens typically. Gives you a lot of context in the shot. And I think that's what's missing from a lot of people.
I mean, I guess what I'm saying is I don't feel that they compete because they're tools. They're just different tools. The phone has its place.
And the phone can do some things insanely well.
Absolutely. And I think if we're looking at it in terms of image quality, if we're looking in terms of resolution, you're kind of missing the point.
Yeah,
you know what I mean?
I would agree
There
with
are
that.
things that an SLR can do, a mirrorless camera can do, that are still going to be advantageous, and it's going to have to be what you're coming down to.
Yeah, I always say just use the tool that you've got until you feel limited by it.
Sure.
Like you can't create what you want to create, and then move on to the next thing.
Absolutely.
Any other questions before we get rolling with...
You know what I think is always going to suck about phones? I don't know how they would change it. The ergonomics of using a phone as a camera are not great.
Yeah.
I mean, we always have to struggle with it. You're fitzing with touch screens and shutter buttons and thin bodies and getting your finger in the way of lenses and stuff. And I know they've tried to address that with add-ons and stuff. It's just not going to happen. What's going on over there, guys?
I agree, Wes. My 2 cents is worth a Canadian penny, which no longer exists as well.
That's true.
Wham.
We did away with pennies, which means unfortunately Ron's opinion is now
invalid.
null and void.
Is
Yeah.
moot.
Invalid. What about that red phone, though?
Yeah, I mean, hey, it's part of the industry. I don't think we're necessarily scared of it. We just have to kind of roll with it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly.
This is always changing. Photography nowadays, this industry is always changing.
Holograms sound interesting,
Yeah.
but I'm not sure how I'm going to use that creatively. Let's just roll through the lens review.
Yeah, let's do the
be
lens
answering
review quick. Lens review. So anyways, we played with this 1224. These are JPEGs we've got off it. First thing I actually noticed with the 1224, fair amount of distortion.
Yeah.
And I think that we're finding that a lot on lenses now. I mean, distortion is one of these things, along with chromatic aberration, that really is easy to fix.
Yeah.
It's one of the things that we can deal with afterwards. So a lot of manufacturers are allowing it to happen in order to do other things like push resolution, keep things compact.
Yeah, it's something that's so easy to fix, even with a slider, if you don't already have the profiles for it. That I do think we're starting to see more and more.
But this lens, barrels on one end and pin cushions on another, for sure.
Let me jump back. This is your fence, I believe, Chris?
This is very obviously a table, a patio table, Jordan. But yeah, you can see there quite a bit of barrel. Yeah.
And do you know what this was shot at?
This is probably at 24, I think.
12 mils.
Oh, 12 mil. So 12 mil barrel, 24 pin cushion. No big deal, but again, it will show up in your JPEGs. I was surprised by that.
I just think it's really cool to have a kind of like a travel ultra wide.
Yeah.
Because typically that's one of the bags that or the lenses I'll leave at home because they have historically always been big and bulky. So just having, this is what I really like when we see a new lens design is, can I do something with this that I couldn't have done
now,
previously? And this certainly fills that niche.
I do want to say, I only got paid by Sony $10 to say this, so don't freak out on me.
Right now
yeah,
on
just
YouTube.
$10. But Sony, this whole kind of thing that we hear all the time, oh, they don't have any lenses. They don't have any lenses. That's not true anymore. Sony have tons of lenses.
They have tons of great full frame
They
lenses.
really, full frame. And, we complain about the APS-C, but honestly, even in that regard, you've got a long lens lineup now. I don't feel like you should be worried about looking at Sony because of this sort of now myth that they don't have lenses available.
Yeah, we haven't seen a lot of bodies coming out this year, which historically they just dump on us. A lot of lenses. I think they're focusing where they should have this year. Let's take a look here, see if you've managed to create some art with this.
No. But I will say one thing I was pleased, no art in this. But again, 1224, it does give you that very unique perspective. Actually, close focusing capability was quite impressive. I would have been, 4.5, 5 inches away. I mean, it was really, really quite nice. Yeah. So versatile lens, you can do some macro stuff with it. What is this? It's my onion. These onion bulbs are like 3 inches across diameter, so you can get a pretty tight frame. I was impressed.
And it's something a lot of people don't consider with ultra wides because people tend to go like landscape, architecture with them. But I find the ability to play with perspective one of the most interesting things.
Yeah,
with these.
And we do have a shot there, just kind of showing that 12 mil perspective. Yep. Keep going. Let's see what we have next. Jordan's gonna bring it up here.
I got to find a more elegant way to do this.
Oh, there's more close-up. Bokeh, again, I know we just spent all this time with David talking about how bokeh and stuff isn't that important. It's really more about, what you're looking for, what you're trying to express. But very nice out-of-focus rendition, and Sony seems to do that very well in their lens construction.
Yeah, it's funny. They say they really focus on that with their G Master series. Yeah. This one doesn't fall into that class. But still, between this, the 85 that we looked at in Thailand, it seems like they're really bringing, even their non-premium lenses, they're really trying to focus on that. But really nice, smooth, flattering out-of-focus rendition.
And again, nice perspective. You can have that sort of push. More importantly, though, my deck is finished. I know if you've been watching us on YouTube, which you guys haven't.
This has been an ongoing saga over a year
thing.
now.
So we're going to do an episode on my back deck, not in the wintertime, please, hopefully.
I'm thinking the year end, we'll get a hot tub on your back patio.
Oh, now, but it'll be Christmas time. It'll be freezing cold. A hot tub,
hot tub when it's cold out is
I have a fish pond. It's not very big. We could probably make it hot. It would kill the fish. But there you go. Jordan wants my fish dead.
So 1224.
Hot pot. Yeah, there we go. We'll just eat some koi and then we'll move on.
1224. It is.
It's great lens, and I think we're good on there. And that's we can get rid of that. So I think what I would say about 1224, I love the size and weight, super lightweight, very good close capability, nice out of focus rendition, and more importantly on that lens, just compact. You are not getting filters, though, and this seems to be indicative of all those ultra-wide full frames, but you're not getting filters. And that being said, it's small enough at the front that you can handhold a lot of 4x6 filters in front of it, grads, for example, and still get away with that. Where it's very difficult to do that on 1424s and 11.
We're running into frozen video.
What?
Frozen live stream offline. Oh, wait. Nope.
Good. Well, hey, there you go.
We'll take kind of back.
Kind of back, yeah.
Kind of back.
Again, guys, we're going to get all these sorted out.
No, we're not.
No, we're not. But this is our first attempt, right? It can only go up from here.
When we first came up with this idea, my target was I wanted to hit 40% of the professionalism of a Northrop video. Currently, we're at about 25%.
25,
so
but
I think 15% to go until we're right on target.
Dare to dream, man. Reach for the stars, yada, yada. So I really did want to talk about this quite a bit. This is our YouTube channel.
Yes.
And we love making videos for everybody. And that's probably the most rewarding thing is people just coming and saying, I really appreciate your review. It helped me make a decision.
Right.
But we also like to make YouTube videos for ourselves.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah, we've had a lot of fun shooting the show. On my side, it's
Yeah.
let me do a bunch of stuff I never would have done
Nice.
otherwise.
Okay, Ron, you got to tell us what you're reading here. Because the
Ja-
guys are just laughing their asses off.
James is saying that you guys need lessons from Tony and Chelsea.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
On how to be
However,
a dynamic female/male duo, or
but Kazoku is saying that I blame. He blames YouTube and not our setup.
I appreciate that.
Yeah.
And, we love Tony and Chelsea.
It's probably a 50-50 balance.
They've been at this for a long time. They pay their interns, so to speak, too. And, and they're doing a great job. But, yeah, we don't want to be Tony and Chelsea, right, Jordan?
No.
This
I
is
mean,
the you and me show.
This is always going to be a little bit more of a garage band show.
Hey,
Yes.
hey, remember how I
Yes.
told you not to, move your mic?
Yeah.
Yeah, stop moving your mic, Jordan.
Remember I chastised you before the live show?
Okay, great.
All right.
Cool.
But anyways, we like to make YouTube videos for ourselves too. We like to have fun. You are an AMPI award-winning cinematographer, and sometimes you even like to flex your video muscles, your video making muscles in our show.
Yeah, exactly. It's let me do. I mean, I wouldn't have done 360 VR video probably if it hadn't been for the
YouTube
show. Giving
and you still hated it, but you did it.
Yeah, it's great. And the other day I wanted to test some new microphones. I went and worked as a sound man on a short film.
There you go.
Which is something I would never consider myself
So-
qualified or embrace, and it was an interesting, fun experience. Yeah.
What we want from the folks at home is let us know what are your favorite YouTube videos. We're going to talk about some of ours, but we want you to talk about some of your favorite videos and the backstory and stuff. We're going to kind of get into
we'll
as
fill
well.
in some BTS if you have any questions about.
Yeah, let us know what videos we love. And we have videos on here. I mean, let's just get to it. I mean, what's our first one that we've got on here?
First one I wanted to pull up. Mostly I want to focus on some of the less known videos.
Yeah.
Because of course we've got some of the like the JPEG shootout stuff like that went everywhere.
Yes, exactly.
The f-stop ridge stuff, all that kind of stuff. But I wanted to focus on some of the stuff you might have missed because a lot of the time we'll talk about a product maybe you're not that interested in.
Right.
But this one I really wanted to single out, which is the Leica MD, because when this camera was announced, I believe your impression was that's insane. I can't wait to tear this thing
camera
apart.
is a POS, and and again, my opinion of Leicas at that point was not very good. I found them to be expensive toys, slow to use, and the MD was actually a very interesting camera because that was the most pure camera they'd made as far as they got rid of the LCD screen entirely. It had the ISO dial in the back, and to my surprise, we went to Heritage Park here in Calgary. We shot this camera, and I ended up loving it.
Yeah, I think those are my favorite episodes, are the ones where you go in with a preconceived notion. The course of actually using it changes it, which is what's awesome about shooting field tests.
Yeah.
We could be doing lab tests all day, and that's, there are people who do a great job of that. But I love the idea of you go out, and by the end of the day we find out, or we get to see you evolve.
Sure, absolutely. I mean, now, customers come in and they're like, hey, you're that guy who hates Leica. And then I'm like, not as much as I used to. I'll still never be able to afford one. But, I had a really good experience. And I think, we're always talking about mega nickels and we're talking about dynamic range and all this kind of stuff. And it's nice to then have a camera where it's more about just the experience and the enjoyment of it.
Yeah. Also, really cool location. Anytime we get access to a place like this.
Ron, are
I'm
you
very
okay?
excited.
Do you need...
We were going to do some cool stuff on the back end here.
Man.
But we had picture-in-picture of the YouTube video.
This is our shtick. This is our shtick. It's funny.
Let's stop trying to
Impress people.
We're not going for impressive. We're going for does it work?
Yes, this is all testing. Hey.
Perfect.
Yeah.
Brilliant but rubbish. What other videos do we have to talk about, Jordan?
Yeah, the other one I wanted to go way back.
Closing. Let's keep going.
After the battle at F-Stop, we were like, let's try doing
photo
some
games.
more.
How is this only
drinking that
81,000
image
views?
of our mark?
I love this video. I mean, again, this is us just coming up with a silly idea. Yeah, Mark, you can do it. Oh, yeah. This is just coming up with a silly idea, playing with it, and we had so much fun doing this. And Larry, who you're going to see here as our gymnast, still one of my favorite performances of all time.
Yeah.
He took his shirt off entirely in front of like a high school girls' soccer game. No shame, that boy.
Yeah.
Here we go. Oh, I love it. I love it. And he deserves the gold medal that he won here.
Yeah, and we really kind of tried to model this after a Visa commercial was our goal going into it. And this was right when we first started to see slow-mo coming onto some of the cameras. This is our second video at the AF100. We had 60p. We were experimenting.
Oh, look, I'd sleep with that guy. It's fun for us to be able to do these things, just have a silly time, like the mirrorless party as well, right? I mean, we're just having a good time in a photo-related way. I love it. I love it.
And this is something that we do always struggle with on the show is we love doing this where we can get away from a camera review or something, have a little more fun.
Damn, that was 5 years ago?
Flex our creative muscles. But new products keep showing up, and the episodes take a while. But this is something that we're definitely trying to address.
Let's move to the next one here. Oh, the digital rev style Fuji X10 field test. Yeah. I think this is a favorite for a lot of people. So we love Kai Wang, and it's not digital rev anymore, I guess, but we love Kai Wang, and mimicry is the best form of flattery. I believe I said that in video too. But
this is also the first time that we saw you trying on your many
accents,
verbal hats, which have been slowly become something that we've really embraced on the show.
South African solid. I don't care what anybody says.
Controversially,
and let it be known that it's South Africans who have said in the comments, "Damn, your South African accent's really good, Chris." So that's who I want to get it from. But yeah, here I do a British accent. I try to be Kai Wang. Got the glasses, got the hat. But again, that was a really fun video. Yeah, it's just a kind of different flavor.
And this is the first time we tried to do a lot of moving camera on the street stuff, which we do.
I love it. Everybody was like, Jordan, your camera work is absolute garbage. You did a horrible job stabilizing that camera. And Jordan was trying to mimic the shaky street style.
And it's funny, I felt really bad because we put this video out, and I don't know if it was an influence on it, and I commented on the shaky camera and the fast shutter speeds.
Yeah.
And almost immediately after this video came out, they changed their shooting style to use the classic shutter speeds, meaning that joke just fell flat.
Totally fell flat. Jordan was doing this
of an a-hole,
on purpose. Yes, our production value has always been good. He was trying them anyways. A little BTS there for you. So I know it's been a long time since then, but let's take it easy on Jordan. Now we can, and like the focus pull that was terrible and stuff. Yeah, just cute.
Maybe
cute.
Yeah, I've learned since then to be more sympathetic to other people's shooting.
Yeah, you are a bit of a movie snob and a cinematographer.
It's funny how many of these, when we were pulling up some of our favorites, wound up being quite a bit older episodes.
Yeah, because we had more fun back then, right? Is that what we're saying?
That's not it at all.
Oh, okay.
No, I think it's stuff that we forgot about, people may not have seen.
This is still one of my all-time favorite videos, yeah. And obviously not a scientific test, but we took the leading SD cards of the time and we torture tested these. We shot them with airsoft guns. We drove over them with my 4x4. We froze them in ice. And as you saw there, we put in an easy bake oven. And this was also where we both get in the bathtub with champagne and we do the two dudes in a tub with champagne romantic SD card underwater test, which the Panasonic card, here you go, which the Panasonic card passed.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. I love it, right? See, it holds up. Everybody's having a good time. And, interesting side note, in this video, we've got an SD card in the water, and I actually do search for it, and I legitimately did lose it. I'm like, okay, I'm going to act like I don't know where the card is and then pick it out. And I lost it, and I had to reach some places to find it.
We had to do some digging.
Yeah, and I dug, and I found it. But that's a true story. That wasn't put on. And it was a great way to kind of test the card and have fun with it at the same time.
Well, and the cool thing is, too, after we did Battle at F-Stop Ridge, that gave us a ton of creative freedom. If it had been 3 months before and we went to our bosses and said, we want to go sit in a bathtub together and hunt for memory cards. But, I mean, that's the great thing.
You got to make something great before you can get experimental.
Yeah,
exactly.
Since then, we've been in, Banff, Lake Louise, beds together, and we've, we hot tubs with Nathan Elson, and, we've done some stuff.
But if you are trying to do some of that social media stuff, then I always say, stop trying. Just do what you think is interesting, what you think is fun.
Exactly, and have fun with it.
Yeah, and in the case of this video, no one will watch it if you do that.
No, exactly.
But in some other cases, like the mirrorless party, things like that, huge success.
And be sincere. I mean, that's kind of our thing, right? We try to be as sincere and as ourselves as possible. By the way, we also lost a huge portion of our hardcore right-wing followers with this video. But
it was fun to actually watch our Middle Eastern viewers just drop off the face of the earth right right when that
It was
video went
interesting.
by.
Analytics. It was interesting.
It's amazing how much information we can get.
Now, this is a more recent video, and I love this video, and we even shamelessly tried to get other people to promote this video for us, and people started watching it. I love this video.
Yeah.
Surviving the wild, can your photo gear save your life? And, again, we mentioned the video, but just keep in mind, we didn't fake anything. Like, this is all with gear that we brought in. We're catching fish. We're starting fires. I loved it.
Yeah.
I loved it.
Oh,
Yeah, this was a
buffering
fun
again.
one for me because it did let me. We made the decision not to.
Our throughput.
R.I.P. stream, con, offline, sad face.
Look, it's a fish. We're
Okay,
missing the fish.
Hey, we're kind of back.
Okay, so
All
yeah,
right.
we're sorting through the whole bandwidth kind of thing here. But again,
We will get this sorted out, guys. in the
this is
future. I
fun to
apologize for
play
this.
with. It's fun to play with. I had a great time with that, and it's hard to come up with ideas that people haven't done. You know what I mean? And this was one that's like, I don't think anybody's done surviving in the wild with your photo gear. So
Well, and so often it's funny when we look at these, so often Chris just walks up to me out of the blue. This is not usually
to your
something that
mic.
comes out of a long conversation. That
No.
was exactly what happened with this. And some of the stuff like starting a fire with the spark from your flash, we didn't
and
know
it
if
works.
We didn't know if it was
we
going
had
to
no
work.
idea. This stuff works. I mean, legitimately, what I learned from this is if you get lost in the woods with a bag full of camera gear, you actually can survive quite well. It's not the worst thing to be out there with.
With a little bit of ingenuity.
And big heavy rock smashing gear. Yes, you can survive.
So, guys, we want to open it up to you. Are there any episodes that you're wondering the backstories on? Any behind-the-scenes stories?
Don't do this, by the
Yeah.
way. Don't open your flashes and try to spark some. But watch, it's gonna happen.
Oh,
It's my favorite part. Any ideas on what you guys really liked from our shows? We'd appreciate you talking about that. So throw those our way. But Ron, do we have any questions in general or anything?
Not right now.
How many horrible? How about horribly embarrassing comments that we should mention?
Someone said that they had a weird boner after the whole video of both of you sitting.
I'd
in the
be
tub.
offended if you didn't.
Yeah.
More importantly, should Jordan shave his beard again?
A lot of feelings for you, Jordan, that the tap was in your back for that whole ordeal.
We'll just
let's
end it
see.
there.
Yeah, there you go.
Yeah, just the tap.
Just the tap.
He just got the tap.
Lots of people saying that you're much better than Kai.
Oh, thank you. We love Kai, though. Actually,
Yeah,
we really
no,
do love Kai Wong. He
okay.
does a great job. And again, that's kind of part of it, too, is, right, like, he does his thing. He does his irreverent humor. He gets to swear. We don't because we're representing a store, even though, truth be told, we swear all the time, don't we, Jordan?
Yeah, sometimes.
all
On
the time,
on
especially in front of my kids for some reason.
Sorry about that, kids. It's worth pointing out, on the Facebook channel, we would do one of our recommended YouTube videos. And if you're interested in that 1224 Sony lens we talked about, I did actually quite enjoy Kai's video that went live this week.
Yes, he did actually talk about that lens, too.
Yeah,
absolutely.
And did a great job with that. More of an interior architecture and spooky abandoned houses kind of feel, but it's a fun episode. And I do really like John Paul Bayfield as well. What's up?
Someone's commenting on your Fuji X100S video. Brendan's saying at roughly the 309 mark when Chris says, "This will be my last shot," and then you turn around with
No
the
lens,
cap
and the lens caps on it?
Yeah.
Yep.
Uh,
That is the magic of TV.
That's when the magic of TV goes awry.
Yeah,
I'm-
because I did take a picture there, but then, of course, I put the cap on. We're going to walk away, and Jordan's like, hey, actually, I need to record that again. Can we do that one more time?
Yeah.
Well, there you go.
Happens all the time. If you're one of those people who really gets off on IMDb pointing out like little continuity errors and things like that, then TCSTV should be a heaven for you.
Yeah.
let's see. I've got Budapest asking, have you heard let's see. Have you ever heard after the Samsung market dropout about the real reasons behind it? I guess Samsung closing shop on their
Samsung, we've talked to some people, and they have a real mentality that they'll give something a good try. If it doesn't work, they'll stop throwing money at it, which is a big part of why they're so successful.
That one ended really quickly, and I think a big problem was too expensive. The cameras are too expensive.
Yeah.
They were good. They had some potential. I didn't love the image processing, but the NX1 was awesome. But yeah, no, they just kind of disappeared out of nowhere.
It is funny.
It was like overnight.
If the NX1 came out right now, it would still be some of the best APS-C image quality out there. But yeah, they it's funny. For some reason, they couldn't get over the electronics manufacturer stigma, where some other companies like Panasonic and Sony certainly have.
Sure.
Yeah, it's unfortunate, but
Yeah, absolutely. And then there's all these rumors like Nikon bought them and stuff. No, I don't think that
which would have
happened.
been fantastic if Nikon put a F mount on an NX1, sold it as a mirrorless camera. Everyone would love that, and sexied it up a little bit.
And then also things like, again, sadly, what just happened, Micron, parent company for Lexar, they just kind of
no more Lexar.
And it is the way that all
went away this week.
Yeah, that's the way all manufacturing works. Is nobody wants to give you a heads up. It's just like, no, we're doing great, and then the next day the rep's like, I don't have a job.
Yeah.
But it's just the way it is.
Yeah, it's unfortunate. I would have loved to see some more competition in there and somebody pushing H.265 a little bit harder. If that had caught on, we'd probably have a lot more support on our editing systems and stuff like that. It's still, even at this point, a little bit rocky.
Here's a question. Who is the next to go? Who do you think is the next company that's going to go under? It's a dark question, but let's do it. Major photo company.
I do think Ricoh's going to ditch
Pentax Rico, hey?
Yeah, it's unfortunate because the K70, K1, two fantastic
cameras.
Last year. But that would be my guess, unfortunately. K1 sold reasonably well. We didn't see much movement on the 7, even though it's one of the best entry-level SLRs ever made.
Casio's still hanging on, man. Selfie cams.
There you go.
Yeah.
Let's see. We've got Gary commenting he likes usually the Camera of the Year episodes.
Yes.
Absolutely.
Can you do them more often, as in like more than once a year?
No.
It's really a Christmas thing that we kind of do. We can be drunk on camera more if that's what you want.
I'm sure a lot of people would like those.
No, my liver can only do one Christmas special a year. That's
man, the drunken photographer. Let's do it.
Brad is saying that he likes the episode about what bags to pick and the downfall about each.
I did enjoy that episode.
I'm really looking to do a tripod episode in the same kind of series. We'll run through a few different styles of them when they make sense. I don't think the thievery will play as big a role in that one.
No, people generally don't steal cameras off tripods, but I could foresee a lot of inappropriately large cameras put on inappropriately small tripods that then cause boo-boos.
Yeah, various situations like simulated earthquakes I think would be fun. Stick them by a river, see how long they hold up, all kinds of stuff. So
we could do a tripod torture test.
That is something that's in the works right now. Hopefully coming up soon.
Good idea.
We got Sean saying Camway almost got him until he noticed the
Yeah.
date.
Camway was in our short list of some of our favorite memories. It was great to see that Chris could be a televangelist. If this doesn't pull off, you have the delivery for it.
I'm a douche. Everybody knows it. So, I can play one on TV. It's easy.
Yeah, and that one was a lot of fun for me, too. It was something that I got to light in a way that I typically wouldn't for a Camera Store TV episode. Yeah,
that was cool. We got the whole stage. We got to have theatrical lighting.
Yeah.
Lots of people helped out to make that one come true. And that was a lot of fun. That was a lot of fun.
We found that the most difficult thing doesn't matter. Like, we've got a reasonably good YouTube following, but getting extras is a nightmare.
Yeah. So thank you to the people that did come out and help us out. That was
we
really,
hugely
really cool.
appreciated it.
Yeah, Camway was a good one.
Being filled with a lot of coworkers and desperate pleas for help.
Kazoku is asking if you have any one focal length, which one for each of you.
Oh man,
I'm a 35 man.
Cool.
You are a 35 man.
Chris, make a choice.
Oh, sorry, I just almost threw up.
Make a choice.
For me, I don't know. I'm gonna go with 85.
All right.
See, and that's why Jordan and I are such a good team, because when we're together, it's a 35 and an 85.
I give context and you isolate.
Yeah,
much
but
like at parties.
But I'm I'm Ocho Cinco up in here.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you like it long and Jordan likes it wide. Perfect. On to the next. Let's see.
Ron knows us so well.
He does.
Linux Tux.
Ron, what's your favorite focal length?
Will you do a comparative review of any smartphone cams?
Smartphone, we've talked about this on the old Facebook Live show. They're hard because no one wants to give us their phones.
Because they know what we're going to do with them.
We can't get them, and we'd have to unlock them. And it's been difficult.
And and we have no problem doing it. I mean, a lot of people might say, "Oh, well, you're a camera store. You guys don't sell phones, so why would you want to push phones?" And our boss probably agrees with that. But we did on the JPEG shootout put an iPhone 7 up there, right?
Yep.
Just to show what is this doing compared to cameras? And I love the iPhone. I think it did a great job. You know, a lot of people like the color, but the files still are not quite there in some regards. But yeah, for sure.
Yeah, I think it's a really
We're not
interesting
afraid to
time.
put those up and
The
play with
trouble
them.
really is, too, we don't have any contacts with Samsung or
exactly.
Apple, who makes smartphones too. You know,
Huawei now, and I mean, there's so many companies out there now. So, you know, maybe we can. We'll see. But it is tough for us to get that gear because we don't carry phones.
we could do a shootout where everyone brings their own phone to set that they own, and they can unlock it every
but
time.
wouldn't it just be a plethora of just wide-angle frame
Yeah, and that's
picture?
what they
Like
do
that's
best.
all it would be, just everything in focus, wide-angle frame pictures, I guess.
Things are definitely evolving. It's worth mentioning that the L16 came out this week, finally started shipping. I think that's kind of the future of smartphone cameras, and I'm really curious to play with one of those.
Yes, we need to.
Because I think we'll see that.
I want to see it. I want to play with it.
So we're throwing it out there, world. Get us
Choose
one
your
of
own
those.
adventure camera is what that is.
Yeah. People saying more drunk shows.
Yeah, more drunk. I think I'm just gonna get drunk.
Bodavista is asking 2 tripods in a bathtub ?
Yeah,
let's
you know,
see.
rust is a
Your-
problem.
Let's see. Your intro video is still the one from 2015. Will you do a new one for
Yes,
2018?
absolutely. We are actually thinking of doing a new
Um,
sizzle reel, so that is going to happen. We got to do that.
I'm working on that. As you may have noticed, I'm way behind on some of the big cameras right now. A9, GH5, 60
Yeah,
Mark
Jordan's
II.
been spending time with his wife and kid.
My
Ugh.
my home life has been fantastic, and you're all suffering as a result of that. So I will be working on that. Chris is going to be out of town shortly, which will give me some time to catch back up. And once we get through that, then certainly, yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Now, we should mention what we got. And again, keep telling us what you want to see. But coming up here, if you are in Calgary, we've got a really interesting event coming up here. It's on the screen. Analog swap and sale night. It's $15. That money gets donated to the Calgary Food Bank. So it's a good cause. You get to come down here to the store. You get to bring your analog gear, swap it, trade it, sell it, you know, just shoot the breeze with people with analog gear. You know, Beers and Cameras is going really well here in Calgary, and a lot of people are bringing their cameras. And so this is a great opportunity to just talk about film, get rid of some gear. If you've got like a darkroom set up at home and you're like, who's going to take this?
This is the time.
This is the time to do it. All goes to a good cause. Check it out on thecamerastore.com. Please come to our analog swap and sale night.
Yeah, I'm really looking forward to just poking around in the parking lot and find out. Maybe we can track down something for future unsung cameras of yesteryear.
You might even be able to buy a Chris Nichols vintage camera.
What?
I
Which
know.
one?
I don't know. I haven't decided yet.
Alright.
I've got so many. I've
Yeah.
got so many.
Classic Nichols.
And I
camera.
want people to be using them, so we'll see.
Are you shocked that when you sell your personal gear, people aren't willing to pay a premium because it was yours?
No, because for the most part, money is more important than anything else in the world. But I do get a lot, you know, if I am selling things on Kijiji, they're like, wait a minute, Chris, from the camera store? Are you Chris from the camera store? It does help you sell used gear because automatically they trust me for some reason. I don't know why that is.
So
Unless it's,
So we will have that up on
Yes,
the website there.
that is
links
coming
to
up.
it.
Next thing here, too, and hopefully this is all going up on YouTube here, Mike Drew, a good friend of ours, he's doing his book launch on the road. We talked about this a little bit last week, but we're talking about it again. Friday, August 11th, come down to the store, not the store, come down to the classroom. He's doing a launch, 7 p.m. to 9 p.m.
We have directions. Definitely register for that.
Yeah.
If you've seen Mike on the show, you know he's opinionated. He has awesome stories.
Yeah. He's going to argue with us about the 6D Mark II and how disappointing some aspects of that camera are. But maybe even Mike might even, I don't know, he might even be like, oh, Canon messed up this time.
We'll see.
We'll see.
He's a tough nut to crack.
He is.
But
Loyal.
loyal. Check it out. He's been doing this column for I think 20 some.
Yeah, Mike Drew's been doing On the Road for so long.
So
this multiple decades.
So these are some of his favorite images over the entire history of that column. It's a gorgeous book. So
Have any talented photographer, and they take something that they love. In this case, just our province, Alberta. You know, and they shoot it for multiple decades. The soul, again, as we're talking with David, the soul and the heart of that experience comes through in the photographs. So this is an amazing opportunity. If you're and what's here, this is a fantastic book. Check it out.
definitely check it out.
Yeah.
Robert's wondering whether you guys can do more cinema-oriented reviews like the FS5.
Yeah,
Could be
absolutely.
great.
Well, you know, the Panasonic Eva's coming out.
Yeah. Now I didn't want to dwell on it too much with our favorite episodes, but The professional camcorder episodes are a lot more work than a conventional
Yes.
review.
Because
but
we do it with nickels.
But I love doing them.
Yeah.
The FS5, where we've done the wooden nickels, the GH5 with Goodfellas, and we have a follow-up GH5 review coming, which will also touch on the photo aspects. But yes, we have a C200, we have an EVA1 coming out, and we're talking to local cinematographers. We're going to have some wooden nickels coming out. We're going to test these properly.
We're looking forward to it.
We're in the talks of actually shooting a car commercial with one of these, like a legit car commercial, with one of these cameras for the field test. So,
you know, I mean, if you're not familiar with the wooden nickels, I mean, this is basically where we take famous movie scenes and I act out those scenes. And again, you can see me, you know, doing Jennifer Connelly in Blood Diamond. I've got the eyebrows for it. And, yeah, I mean, we did the Goodfellas thing, which I loved. That was a lot of fun. Worked with DDG on that. That was a great time. So we've got a lot more of those coming, and that's what we're going to do for our high-end video camera stuff.
Yeah, so check those out. A lot of people missed in the FS5 video that first wooden nickels because we didn't promote it as such. But definitely check it out. The last 10 minutes of the FS5 review are a lot of fun.
Blood Diamond.
Yeah, FS7 review as well. We did a short film in part 2. A lot of people missed that.
Yes.
So yeah, FS7 part 2, first 10 minutes, short pseudo horror movie.
Oh yeah, that was a lot of fun too. Yeah.
With you, and you can see the camera store robot in that very short.
You certainly can. I love her.
Anything else coming in, guys?
Oh, they're figuring more things out. I think bandwidth issues. What? Yeah, for sure. And I mean, that's something we're doing. I mean, we got David on here today. That was amazing. We really appreciate him coming on the show.
Yeah, we're going to try and bring a guest in, hopefully maybe even every live show. For our next live episode, we do have Mike Drew.
Mike Drew's coming in.
From this.
Absolutely.
So we'll be discussing some of that. But yeah, some local photographers. We have a lot of friends in the industry. Maybe we'll consider trying to Skype some of our YouTube friends into the show at some point. I think that would be a lot of fun.
This is all cool possible stuff. Yeah, and Gary's like, don't make me IT the Skype sessions.
Yeah, if we're having issues with buffering right now, let's throw one more thing into the mix.
Dalbor.
Hey, Dalbor, thank you for coming over.
Yeah, he's been here since the beginning, but he's saying that we should do the Canon C200 and Deliverance as the video for it.
Yeah, and that is an awesome, and I've got a bow and everything, and I have no problem shooting one of my coworkers with an arrow. I've absolutely no problem doing that.
The problem would be picking a Deliverance scene. That would be really...
Yeah, that both our bosses and our help are okay with.
Yes.
Larry.
Yeah.
Ned Beatty's role. We need you. Nothing. Don't worry about it.
Yeah.
You'll figure it out very soon.
Carry on, Larry.
Okay.
We're also going to...
You'll like it. I promise you.
We're also going to bring in some of our coworkers as well, talk with them a little bit.
For sure. I'm sure everybody's missing Caitlin, but she's off making beautiful photos somewhere. Not here, so good for her.
Yeah. So we will be doing some of that. We would definitely, with the field tests, we're typically out in the world. With the live show, we have access to the entire store, so we're going to try and bring that in a little bit more.
Done. Absolutely. We will do it.
Cool.
We will do it. We appreciate your feedback.
And I think that's everything that we had planned today, if we don't have any more questions.
Yeah, comments, questions?
No.
Good.
Yeah.
Awesome.
No, that was
well,
great.
thank you for tuning in.
People are just wondering when you guys are going to, like someone's asking, UK trip, Australia trip,
Oh, I wish.
Costa Rica trip.
Well,
y'all can pay for it.
Costa Rica, that's the tricky thing. Yeah, we would love to do it. I need to get back to the UK. I lived there for a couple of years, and I miss it in a big, bad way.
I definitely want to get over there.
But, yeah, absolutely. We've doing a lot more traveling.
We can just stay on Gordon's couch, probably.
I'm sure Gordon Lang would. There we go. We'll go see Gordon. We'll go see Kai, and it'll be great. Maybe we can make that happen.
We should do a UK couch surfing series. That would be fun.
Fantastic. Yeah. Just flat crashing, UK
paying
for
flat
no
crashing.
Hotels
the entire time.
But yeah, we'd love to do that. But I was just going to say, Jordan and I in the last couple of years, we've been actually doing a lot more travel. So it's coming. I know Calgary, Alberta, it's beautiful, but I know it kind of gets to be a one-trick pony, Stampede style. Literally. So, yeah, we're going to see what we can do. I hope we can.
We're working on it.
Yeah.
And one other thing, too, if you are trying to keep an eye on us, check us out on Twitter and Instagram, because we always post when we're traveling somewhere. So often we'll put an episode up and people will be like, oh, I can't believe you were in Thailand or Japan.
Yeah.
I would have loved to meet you.
We always try to get that out there.
And we will typically try to do a meetup.
Just a side note on that. I mean, it's not a big trip, but family vacation coming up here end of the month. So I'm going to Ontario, Lake of the Woods, Lake Cottage Country. We're staying on a cabin for a little while. So I'll be doing an underwater camera review from there.
Perfect.
So that's kind of travel because it's not Alberta, but it's still Canada. I
And
mean,
I've always said
pretty
if we
much
could
looks the
set
same.
up the show anywhere in Canada, I would choose Central BC. So that's not where you're
I'm going to Ontario,
Never
but
mind.
that's okay. Kelowna is a beautiful place, and we want to go there.
Yeah.
Okay.
Let's live there forever and drink wine.
No, actually, we won't have a live stream for the next. We're doing it Saturday mornings at 9:30, but with Chris leaving on vacation, no live show for 2 weeks. And
There-
then we'll be
there you
back
go.
up at it.
What? 2
Yeah.
weeks?
2 weeks.
We'll
Yep.
figure it out. Pay attention to the schedule. We'll see what we can do.
We
but
will be
yes,
posting it online.
Absolutely.
Thank you much, guys.
All right.
Thanks for watching. Thanks for
There we
putting up
go.
with our technical hiccups.
Yes,
It's
thank
gonna
you
keep
for
getting
tolerating.
better.
At least we got through a whole live show on YouTube the first time.
And enormous thanks
yeah.
to David for coming in. You can check out the links to his book there.
Absolutely.
Check out his social media, see what he's up to.
And to hell with Facebook, right?
We're so done with Facebook.
Alrighty.
Thanks, guys.
Thanks so much, guys.
Thanks,
Have a great time.
guys.
Let's wave.
Yeah, wave.
Dude.